Hey guys, Prangell Gaming here, welcome back to Talk the Wall. This is the 45th instalment, and before we get right into your responses or any questions you may have had, if you haven't seen any of the other 44 instalments, then why not go check them out. There's going to be a link in the description of this video for the last Talk the Wall, or alternatively, if you have missed an episode, then click the I button and you can catch up with what you have missed. But as always, if you do have any questions or opinions, do feel free to put them in the comments section of this video because I want a Millwall voice throughout. Now, with this podcast, do bear in mind I recorded it on Sunday before the match against Scunthorpe, so all the sections to do with the match will be talked about next week along with any new news stories. Moving on into your predictions, and 5 people predicted the scoreline for this leg, with no one actually getting the 0-0 draw as the right scoreline. The closest predictor was Thomas Gadsby, who said, I believe that Scunthorpe will be looking for a draw on Thursday night. Personally, as much as I would love another day at Wembley, I can't see it happening. My prediction for Thursday would be 1-0, with it going 1-0 at half time, thanks to a Steve Morrison opener, and then Scunthorpe getting one back with 5 minutes left to the game. And obviously, when we go to Scunthorpe, it will end 1-0 to them. Next closest predictors were Harry Greenway and Jadams with their predictions, and Jadams also added that he reckoned that the second leg would end 2-1 to Millwall. Liam Gaming 2 was the next person to predict, and he said that Aidan O'Brien and Griggs would score for us while Paddy Madden would get theirs. He was wrong this time around. Archie Compton said that Millwall would win 3-0. He also said that Morrison would get a double and Gregory would get the third, finishing with "Come on you Lions, moo!" Riley Solo also said he reckoned that the game would end 3-1 to Millwall. My prediction was 2-2. Obviously, I said with a tweet that I expected Morrison to get a double. I could not have been more wrong. Morrison just struggled in that match. Let's get into your comments for this week, and we're going to start with Harry Greenway's comment, which was, Harry Layton looks good. Now, if you didn't know, I asked Harry to look out for up-and-coming Millwall stars, and so this is what he's saying when he means that Harry Layton was great. Now, I believe he means Noel Layton, and well, if he is saying that player and it is that person, then I would agree, he looks pretty good, he's up and coming, and it cannot hurt to have strikers coming through. But will he be good enough for the first team? Well, we'll only find out when he actually gets there. The next person to leave a question was Archie Compton, who said, do you think that Williams will sign a new contract at the end of the season? And with this, Archie, I say I don't know. I expect him to stay because he loves the club and he's settled here in London. That being said, if he was to leave, I wouldn't hate him as he's now 30. So if he wants to play championship football and we can't offer it to him if we don't go up, then now would be the time to do it. And I think Williams is a great midfielder. Joe Holloway was the next person to comment, and he said, Q sirrah, sirrah, whatever will be, we're going to Wembley, Q sirrah, sirrah. Can I just say, Joe, you're getting way ahead of yourself, mate. Millwall always like to do it the hard way, plus I'm incredibly nervous regardless of how we go and play against Scunthorpe, because even if we do go Wembley, we don't have the best track record, and that is really scary being a Millwall fan and knowing that we don't always win at Wembley. Obviously, anything can happen though. Riley Solo was the next person to comment, and before I actually say anything he commented, can I just say it was a pleasure to meet you, mate. Hopefully I can sort out what's happening with the podcast and get you on it for the next season. And so actually Riley's first question was, who do you think is better, Harry Girling or Tom King? As me and my mate have been arguing with each other over this. Now, I reckon that Tom King is the better goalkeeper, and it's only due to the fact that King has first team experience. And I was told by one of my mates that's actually a Welling United fan, and he said he wasn't really impressed with Harry Girling out on his loan spot. I know that's nothing to go by, but that's what I'm basing this on. Riley also said, I love Harris, he's a Millwall legend, and Q sirrah sirrah, whatever will be, we're going to Scunthorpe United, Q sirrah sirrah. It's safe to say he was very happy getting into those playoffs. Jadams was the next person to comment, and he said 2 things. The first one was, Shaun Hutchinson is a good player, better than Cooper in my opinion. Also, we need to hold on to our main players and sign Jed Wallace. And with that one, I think Hutch is a great player. My dad hasn't been to many games this season as he works on the Saturdays that Millwall play, but he has been to every night match with me, and he said on Thursday that he was really impressed with Shaun Hutchinson and Jed Wallace. He also said that Jed Wallace was the best player on the pitch on that match. Jadam's other comment was, Joe Holloway, who's probably a Charlton fan, needs to sort himself out. You want Super Neil out, you're mad, mate. He's young and he has time to improve. Is he bad if we're in the playoffs and you might go up, you reject? Good video, rant over. So first and foremost, can I just give my response to this? I know Joe personally, I know he's a Millwall fan, and well, he does get angry over certain things. At the end of the day, let's not get angry with each other. Even if there was a Charlton fan commenting, it doesn't matter. We've got to be nice to our fans. At the end of the day, we're all going through similar things. There's ups, there's downs, and obviously at times you might even go to Wembley. Let's not get angry. And obviously Neil Harris is a split of an opinion in the Millwall camp at the moment, and he has been for some time. Personally, I wouldn't be bothered if we actually win the playoffs or not, but that's just my opinion, and I really like Neil Harris for the fact he's brought a few younger players, and due to the fact that we were really in trouble had the players on a lot of money stayed at the club. The next person to comment was Thomas Gadsby, and he said, if we were to unfortunately not win promotion and stay in League One, what are your thoughts on the title push for next season? Maybe another cup run in the FA Cup or League Cup? Or what about everyone's favourite trophy, the Checker Trade Trophy? So Thomas, if we stay in League One, that isn't a problem in my opinion. If we stay down for the next 2 or more seasons, I still wouldn't think it's a problem because I want the youth to come through and have the best chance. And in League One, that's really possible. And also it's due to the fact that you've got the Checker Trade Trophy where they can come through at the moment. I don't know what's happening with that. But yeah, when you're playing in League One, you've got more chance of playing in the Championship. Obviously, because the Championship's a much harder league. And, well, as for the Checker Trade Trophy, if it doesn't get abolished, I'd actually like to see Millwall win it, just for the fact we say that we've actually won it. But it doesn't come to a surprise to me that clubs are actually having to vote on what actually happens to this cup, because this cup has been terrible, and well, it really needs a revise, and well, teams aren't being considered. When you're fining players for playing youth players, it's not the right thing to do. It definitely needs a big change. Whether it's not around for one season, I don't know, but they really need to sort it out. The final person to comment was Liam Gaming 2, and before we do that, he had a couple of chants. Those were, oh, Stevie Morrison. Meh. His next chant was, no one likes us, no one likes us, no one likes us, we don't care, we are Millwall, Super Millwall, we are Millwall from the dead. Meh. This was followed up by, he's one of our own, he's one of our own, Ben Thompson, he's one of our own. Lee Gregory, Lee Gregory, Lee Gregory, Lee Gregory. And that was then followed up by, oh, Aidan O'Brien. Oh, Aidan O'Brien. And his final chant was Super, Super Nil, Super, Super Nil, Super, Super Nil, Super Nil, Harris, meh. Into Liam's questions, and now the first one he asked was, do you think we need a new left back? And to be honest, Liam, I don't think we need a new left back, because technically speaking we have 4 players that can actually play there if you consider Tony Craig, Joe Martin, Shane Ferguson and Noah Cheeseman. So we do have the players that can actually play there. Now the question that I think you're trying to ask is, do we need to go out and sign someone better in that position? And I would say no, we are fine. With Tony or even Joe being there, it's still great to have those players. Also, Noah is coming through and Shane can do a job there. We are perfectly fine in the left back position, and we've got a decent amount of players that can do a job and players that are coming through that actually look really good. His next question was, do you think we need a new captain? And again, I would say no. We have a leader in every aspect of the pitch, with Tony Craig being our overall captain, Steve Morrison being the secondary skipper and the leader of the strikers, Sean Williams being a controller of the midfield, and obviously Archer a leader of his goal and the defence. His second to last question was, do you think that Morrison will stay another season? And yes would be my answer. He has signed up to the end of next season, and so it'd be very likely that he's going to retire with us. Whether it's that season or some more seasons, I don't know. He will stay around for as long as he wishes to, because he's still an important member in that squad, and regardless of whether he's still scoring those goals, he's great to have around. He does love Millwall. Now, I do think that whether we're playing in the Championship or not will affect whether he stays with the club. But that, obviously what I mean by that is the fact that if we're in League One, he may stay on a little bit longer because the league's obviously not as hard as the Championship. However, he might want to play in the Championship more, so it's really hard to say because it depends. Morrison could be doing really well in the Championship and not want to actually retire. Liam's final question was, what positions do you think we need to strengthen in? And I said the players that I wanted last week, so that would mean I want a striker like John Akinde, a defender or defenders like Curtis Nelson and Charlie Raglan, and a winger like Cal Naismith, who absolutely absolutely lit up the league for Portsmouth yesterday. My word, I'm recording this on a Sunday and he was outstanding. I've been calling out to get a player like him, and well, he was absolutely astonishing in that game. A quality player. I really do wish Mill would get him, but his price is going to be top notch. Obviously, after scoring so many goals and getting a very nice amount of assists. Moving into the loan watch, and there were no woes for any of the three players out on loan this week, as David Ford was part of the Pompey side that won 6-1 to claim the League 2 title. Obviously, Fordy being Fordy did concede a goal, but winning the title only being top for 10 minutes, well, that is something that will last forever. Sid Nelson remained on the bench for his Newport County side as they won 2-1 against Notts County to relegate Hartlepool, who did do their job and beat Doncaster 2-1. Finally, Alfie Pavey remained on the bench versus Chelmsford as the first leg of the playoffs ended 0-0. Into Millwall's match that they played on Thursday, and well, it was a disappointing match for both sides if I'm going to be honest. Scunthorpe looked like they set up to defend, while Millwall just didn't have enough to actually do anything on the night. The only real chance was a Lee Gregory shot that was saved by Joe Anion's feet. Apart from that, the referee was hugely inconsistent with his cards, obviously booking Morrison for diving. Well, it was also sort of an unsportsman behaviour, so I'm not going to complain the fact he got it. I understand why he got it. But the fact is, no one got a booking when they kicked the ball away for Scunthorpe. There was definitely one player that did it. He just smashed the ball away. I think he should have at least branded a yellow card for that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can't blame the referee for everything that went wrong in your match. If you don't score, it's your own fault. And well, I think that if Antony could have been sent off, though, he was diving a lot. Perhaps that's the way he plays. I mean, he's quite good at it. He's actually really good at getting the fouls on him, so that's a pretty good part of his play. But he also was fouling a couple of players himself, and well, I think he was lucky to get away with not getting a red card, but either way, I think a red card would have ruined this match. And also, I did say in my analysis video that I thought that Murray Wallace was a very lucky guy to stay on the pitch, and well, I do think that if he had gone off the pitch, it really would have ruined the game. I preferred the challenge of him staying on in the full 90 minutes. Jed Wallace is my player of the week, and well, it's only because he was making class tackles, taking on United defenders with ease as well. And well, to be honest, it's a real shame that no one actually put one away. If anyone was, it would have been him or Jimmy Abdu. My word, Jimmy really looked fantastic for these playoffs. He hasn't been playing that much this season, but he was great. Into the ups and downs for this week, and I can only cover what happened in League 2. As I'm recording this, the Championship sides haven't kicked off because they kick off at 12, and I'm recording it just before that. So, into League 2, and we're going to start with the side that finished third, and that was Doncaster Rovers. Everyone's favourite to actually go on and win the title, and well, to be honest, the fact that they were so far ahead, they really only have themselves to blame for the fact that it should have been so easy to lift that title. And even on the day they were close to lifting it, as they threw away a 1-goal lead. They were top for such a long time while they had that lead, and then they went on to lose to Hartlepool 2-1. Obviously Hartlepool almost stayed up, and it was so unlucky. I believe their player Rodney scored his first 2 goals in that game, but it was amazing. I caught the final half of the match, and that was a very good match to watch, to be honest. Second are Plymouth Argyle, who were top going into the final day of the season. In fact, the title was actually ready for Plymouth to lift there, as it had already gone and travelled with them. And all they had to do was beat Grimsby Town. And they never did. They conceded in the first minute of the match to bottle their chance to lift the title. And well, to be honest, when you go into it with just needing a win and you lift the title, if you're not going to win it, then it's your own problem. Now first is a side that were third at the start of the match, and they defied the odds to win the league title, and that is Portsmouth. A couple of weeks ago, the title wasn't even in sight. In fact, Doncaster were over 10 points above them, and they have fully reaped the rewards of Plymouth and Doncaster slipping up quite a lot now. Now, they did play fantastically to beat Cheltenham 6-1, and to be honest, I would argue that they have looked very good this entire season, and it may well have been helped by the fact there was no expectation on them, because it looked so hard for them actually to go and lift the title. But the fact is, they are champions of League 2, and they're only the 5th side to win all 4 divisions in England. That is an amazing statistic, if I may add. Now into our final section of the podcast, and that's the Millwall news. This week we have had 3 stories ranging from Neil Harris being unhappy over the playoff schedule to Sean Raggett being a genuine Millwall target. And that means our first story comes from Millwall manager Neil Harris, as he complained the fact that the English Football League haven't given a reason for the playoff semi-final legs, both of them to being so close. Millwall skipper Tony Craig added a battle cry to the Scunthorpe United match, saying that he feels that Millwall could go to any ground in the league and win. He also added it's similar to what we had to do against Bristol Rovers. We will relish the challenge. The final story of the week is that Millwall are actually looking at Sean Raggett as a defensive target, as Neil went to watch Sean play recently, and Millwall are worried that Nelson didn't do as well as what we would have hoped out on loan to Newport, while Cooper could actually leave without Championship football. So that is all we got time for today. Do feel free to put your questions and opinions in the comments section for the next Talk to Wall. Next week I will either be reviewing Millwall's season or talking about Wembley. So if we do beat Scunthorpe, leave your predictions for that next match, which is going to be such a big one if we do get there, and also say your opinions on the season and players. So like, comment, subscribe, and of course I will be seeing you guys next week for the next Talk to Wall. But until then, goodbye.